Hey y'all, I'm back with another video. I know it's been a couple of days. I don't know if anyone's really watching them, but again, more of like a venting thing. It's to help me, but it's also to help you guys. Hopefully, it's helping somebody out there. But anyway, the next thing that I wanted to talk about is title of this video, which is that BPD doesn't make any sense. Like I can't even tell you guys how many times I have thought about what has happened in the past with my ex, and I cannot like pinpoint what happened. Like I'm always like, okay, well, maybe if I did this, maybe if I said this, what if I worded this a different way? What if I did this, that, whatever it is. Sorry, just rearranging. Um, but I always think about that, and it's like, could I have changed anything that happened? But I I don't think I could have. I mean, again, just like reading everything, um, reading people's experiences, all this stuff. Like I have spent, I can't even tell you guys how many hours, like countless hours, just reading things, trying to figure everything out, trying to make sense of it all. And it still doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Like literally none of it does. Um, and just going through those stages, I mean, those, they make no sense. Like if we talk about like the love bombing stage, like the fact that I've read so many things where they're like, oh, the love isn't real. It's this person is just infatuated with you. They don't actually love you. It's like, how can you, like, it just baffles me. How could you possibly say all of these nice things, do all of these nice things? Um, and I'm talking about the person with BPD, by the way. How could they do all of that and it means nothing in the end, and then they're just able to devalue you and discard you like trash, like as if the stuff in the beginning didn't even matter. Like it just, again, it doesn't make any sense. It just really doesn't, because what I did, my love bombing, if you will, because they were love bombing me, I guess I was love bombing them. I don't know, I was just reciprocating it, right? Because you like this person, so naturally you're just going to do those things. But mine was legit, it was real. And as crazy as it sounds, it's like, okay, I'd probably go back again and I'd do it all over again. Because it meant something to me, right? Because you love this person, but they don't love you, at least based on what I've read, or they love you in a different way. But even then, that's not love. And I think it's one of those things where I read that they basically act upon their feelings, right? Their feelings are fact. And I feel like it's not just this way with people who have BPD. I feel like a lot of people do this because, I mean, look at the divorce rates, right? That's why so many people get divorced, because they're like, oh, well, I'm not feeling it. They're not willing to put in that work that is required to, sustain the relationship, to make sure that y'all do good, right? Or the marriage, whatever it is. But I think with BPD, obviously they're like that, but I think it's more extreme. It's like, I don't know, any little thing, even if it's like the most minor thing, it will like send them into a rage. It'll piss them off completely. And like, I don't know. It's like, was that love there to begin with? Because, like, why would you get so pissed off and rage over something this minor? I don't know. But then again, it goes back to the, if you loved me, would you be acting this way? I don't know. But again, I know all that emotional dysregulation stuff is involved. But I've also seen stuff where they're like, oh, they feel love, like to the max, but they also feel anger to the max, sadness to the max. But I don't know, none of it makes sense. None, like literally at all. Because it's like too, like, uh, at least with regard to what happened to me. I was discarded. I reached out. I tried to apologize. I tried to do everything to make amends, right? Um, and you would think that me going out of my way, me doing all of that would make some sort of difference, if they feel, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but like, I just feel like if I show you that I love you, then you'll understand and maybe you'll feel very forgiving. But maybe they felt guilt, maybe they felt shame. But for what? Like, I don't understand. And this brings me to another thing: fear of abandonment, fear of engulfment. They have both of those things. But how could you have both of those things if those two things are completely contradictory? Like, it literally just boggles my mind. Like, seriously, doesn't make any sense. So, like, in the relationship, right? Um, they fear abandonment. They don't want you to leave them, right? Which is why, at least on based off of my experience and what I've read with other people, seen all that stuff. Um, if you literally go hang out with a friend, you go hang out with a family member, you do something without this person, or acknowledge somebody, maybe like give somebody a compliment. I don't know, but they they like fly into a rage because they think you're abandoning them, you're leaving them. And it's just wild because it's like, wait a second, like I'm literally eating food, going out with my family. So, like, I don't understand how you could see that as me abandoning you, but they do. For whatever reason, they do. And I am not sure why, but it could be literally anything like that where you're not giving them like time or energy or attention of any kind. It could literally be that. Um, so yeah, that's just crazy, right? And so, based off of that, you do everything in your power once you figure out, that, hey, if I do this, they're going to be mad. Even though they want me to communicate what I'm doing, you still communicate that and they get mad. Then you're like, okay, I guess I won't tell them I'm going out with my family. I'll just text them under the table. But then they're like, share my location or share your location with me, whatever you do. And they're like, why are you at this place? Why didn't you tell me? Because you're going to get mad because I'm doing something without you. Like, it doesn't make sense. Literally doesn't make sense. Damned if you do, damned if you don't, lose lose situation. I don't know how else to put it. But again, once you realize that um, they have that fear of abandonment, right? And they get jealous or whatever for whatever reason because you're not giving them that attention, um, you try to do everything in your power to like be like, no, like I love you, like you buy stuff for them, you go out of your way for them, you spend all this time with them, like you will literally do anything for them, and you're trying to prove that you love them because all of a sudden they think you don't because you're doing something without them, or you're even doing like a hobby, like going to the gym or like watching a sports game, like literally anything, you know? Um, but anyway, try to, I guess, help in that regard because you're like, well, they think I'm going to leave them. So you're like, no, I won't. So you try and get closer and closer. And I guess, this fear of engulfment, it happens. You get too close. So now they need space. Um, with regard to me though, like it was a lot of that fear of abandonment. And again, it was always that push pull. Like, um, I feel like the abandonment, like it would happen, or the pushing, I should say, would happen because like I was doing something or there was like a minor conflict, whatever. And it'd be like, leave me alone, or I'm gonna kill myself, or I'm gonna self-harm, whatever, just that stuff. But then it'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, I love you. I would get blocked and then I get unblocked and then whatever. But that didn't last except for maybe a couple of hours, I guess. But even then, at that point in a relationship, it feels like an eternity because you're trying to obviously help this person. But Yeah, it's wild. So, with regard to me, the engulfment piece, so, obviously I got left for somebody else, whatever. I'm like, okay, we could still be friends. And of course, you want a friendship, right? I mean, you reach out to your friends. That's what friends do, right? You want to hang out, whatever. So I would. And I don't know if this fear of engulfment just all of a sudden happened because I was starting to be friends with this person, or maybe they thought that, like, I'm trying to interfere with their new relationship. But either way, apparently I got too close. Um, and then I was like officially discarded, right? I'm completely blocked. It's been more than a couple of hours. This person hasn't reached out to me. If I reach out, I'm either left ignored or it's I'm going to call the cops because you're threatening me and you're harassing me. But it's like, okay, one, I just want to hang out with you, just want to be friends. They're like, no, don't want to be friends with you, whatever. Um, so I don't know because, like, yes, you want closure. Yes, you want communication. Who doesn't want that? I feel like it's emotional abuse if they don't give that to you. But even then, a friendship, they don't want it. Is it because of that fear of engulfment? Can't say that I experienced that with this person in the relationship. Maybe I did, but then they're like, leave me alone. But then they're like, communication is important. So I'm trying to get this person to communicate, and they won't because they're like, F off, leave me alone, whatever. And it's like it doesn't make any sense. And then this person said, well, you don't communicate. Like, don't get on me for communicating. If you constantly give me the silent treatment, you constantly do this push pull behavior, like, stop. And then, like, I don't know, like, none of it makes sense. Everything they say and do, it's so contradictory. Like, it's just so wild, you guys. Like, I don't even know. Because when things also ended between us, I was told, well, I'm better off single. And this person is in a relationship with somebody else. I was left for somebody else. Okay, yeah. And then they're like, well, our personalities clash. One, they don't. They don't. I mean, maybe your personality clashes with literally everybody, but we hit it off in the beginning, unless that was the mirroring thing. But again, mirroring. Holy crap. Sorry, you guys. I'm just going off on tangents. But the mirroring doesn't make sense either. Why are you trying to pretend to be somebody you're not? Like, just be a real person. I don't understand. Um, but anyway, so uh, I was told, personalities, they clash, whatever. And then it's like, oh, we've had problems since November. Or was it actually, it might have been December. Things, we broke up in August. So it was, 8 months or whatever. Things were bad in December. And they're like, things were bad in May. It's like, communicate that with me. Or I would try to make stuff work and they're like, oh, well, you treat me like a puppy dog. You think I'll always come back to you? This is a relationship. Are we not trying to make this work? I am so confused. Like, it just doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense. The whole stages don't make sense. The fears don't make sense. The way they act, it doesn't make sense, you guys. I cannot make sense of this disorder no matter what I do. Like, I am trying so hard, and maybe that's why I feel like I can't get closure because none of it makes sense. Like, it's just brutal. You know what I mean? And I see all these things too where people are like, don't be the emotional punching bag, don't be the doormat for them. Don't be the enabler because they need boundaries set in place. And, I'll be honest, I wasn't one to really set boundaries. I was just like, this person it's just the way they act. It's okay. I'm patient. It's something I can take, whatever. But, then I think, like, what if I set up those boundaries? But then I see something where people are like, yeah, you set up boundaries, and they see how far they can push those boundaries, or they don't care, or they see that the fact that you set up boundaries, you're pushing them away. So now it's fear of abandonment. But because it's fear of abandonment, they abandon you first because they think you're going to leave them. Literally doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Like, it kind of pisses you off because I feel like in life we try to make sense of all these things, and I know we can't, but like generally speaking, some things tend to make sense. But this, like, I don't even know, you guys. Like, I really don't. It is wild. And I think their brain is just so messed up that it doesn't make sense. That everything they do is contradictory. And there's really no way around that. You know, like people are like, oh, have patience. Like, I don't even think that would work. I don't think that me having more patience maybe would have lasted a little longer. I don't know, but it would have been the same outcome, right? Like, because I know there were things that it's like, oh, shoot, I shouldn't have said this. I shouldn't have done this. That's a relationship, right? But I don't know. Like, I really do not know. I wish I knew, you guys. I wish I had the answers. I wish I could tell you all that they do this because of this, but I don't know. I really don't know. So, yeah, again, this was just me venting because I'll just have these ideas in my head and I'm like, I want to talk about this. So that's what I talk about. So, yeah, feel free once again to share your experiences in the comments below. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I want to hear your experiences because this all makes sense when we talk about it, right? And again, we want to make sure people have awareness of this. So, yeah, look forward to hearing from you guys. If you want to comment, not saying you have to, but yeah, thanks for listening. I appreciate it. And yeah, see y'all in the next one. Bye.